Hi everyone, welcome to this live stream. I hope that load shedding does not interrupt us. I'll just wait for some people to come onto the stream. I know it's been a while since I've been online. It's been a week to be exact. And I have no idea how many people are going to be watching this live stream. There we have a couple of people on now. The people are growing quite rapidly. And you'll see the heading for this live stream is simply that we need perspective in a world that's just flooded with information. Please like this video. There's 41 people on now. If you can like this video so we can have more people watch it. I don't want to keep you up for too long, but I do want to give my perspective on a world that is flooded with information at the moment and how we just need to get back to basics. Hi, Sean, Craig, Elmery. Yeah, Sean, it's been just over a week now since I last made a video, and there's many reasons for that. We almost have 100 people on now. Hi, Stella, Jacques. What is happening at Coburg? I'll get to that now. And hi, Ansia. Hi, Promethean. Hopefully, we'll still chat in this week. I'll be doing a live stream with a Promethean very soon. I'll make that announcement when the time is right and as allowed. It's not my stream. Dave, hi, Wendy. Chesney. Hi there, Chesney. We almost have 100 people on. Today, I went with my family and we visited the Air Force Museum and up here in Gauteng. This is where we are currently. And we had a month in Cape Town. We expected to be in Cape Town for 2 weeks. We knew we had to go down there to go and do many things. And we had an avalanche of meetings. It was a lot of meetings. It was a lot of pressure, but we got through that. It was very successful. We had 15 plus formal meetings, many other meetings, and it really went well. But now we need to accelerate even faster. What we're doing now is not good enough, and myself and Lauren, we will re-strategize how we do things in future, and it'll involve a lot of social media, a lot more on social media. So you can expect a lot more YouTube videos from me, but you cannot work on a YouTube platform if you're not based somewhere. If you're moving around continuously, it's almost impossible. It's very difficult. Hi, Bram, Glenda, Joan, Karen, Terence. It's good to see all of you here. I didn't expect that many people to come on this time of night. Now, to get back to perspective, at this stage in the world's history, there's something that's happened that hasn't happened since the Second World War, and that is that the whole world has been involved in something not of their choosing, and involved in something that has removed freedom from them. Now, during the First and Second World War, many freedoms were removed from people, but under those conditions, in many countries, there were actually bombs falling, buildings being shattered. You could physically see why certain freedoms were taken away, and many people didn't have a problem with it. It's very different this time because we now have people, very incompetent people, making decisions for us and basically treating us as their children, literally. And this is allowed under our country's constitution. So this is why we need to change the system and we need to change it fast. But just to get back to perspective, when we went to the Swartkops Air Force Museum today, myself serving in the Air Force and doing my basic training at Valhalla, which is just around the corner from Swartkop Air Force Base, and which is basically a museum today. There's no operational aircraft there at this stage, and you can see it based on the basic infrastructure at that Air Force base. But I was based at the Test Flight and Development Center at Bredasdorp in Cape Town. And I've never had the opportunity to actually have a look at RSA-3, which was an advanced two-stage rocket for South Africa, certainly, that could put satellites into lower Earth orbit, well, at a height of about 400 kilometers above Earth. And today I could look at the rocket up close. I could see the launch of RSA 1 and 2 myself. So the first two iterations of that rocket, which was part of the Jericho program. Now, having a look at our military and having a look at ESCOM, something that is necessary to run a military properly, and to run a country properly, and to maintain civility in a country, as well as water supply, I have to think really long and hard about the future, what we need as a country to become a superpower, and the kind of citizens that we need to generate to be able to be worthy of that status. And if you look at our proud history in this country, and I'm not talking about political history at all, let's leave politics out of this completely, because that's when it will completely fall to pieces. I'm talking about a proud history of excellent engineers, excellent technicians, excellent artisans, excellent tool makers. For some reason, South Africa has been able to produce some of the best minds in the world. And their expertise has been exported across the world to make it possible for the rest of the world and other countries in the world to become superpowers. And then you have to ask yourself the question, why are we not a superpower at this point in time? And this is really getting back to basics, the crux of things. Because at the moment, we are being controlled by something that is not bombs falling around us. You can't see buildings being shattered and broken, especially not in our country, not with artillery or anything like that. And yet, we have behaved like we're at war with something that we cannot see. Hi, Juliet, Barry, Dirk, Wendy. Well done, Craig. Your first skydive at Swartkop. The one thing that that really made me emotional today while I was there, besides the fact that my children had lots of fun looking at the vast display of history within our Air Force, is the fact that it's just aging equipment. The equipment is standing there. Yes, it is maybe outdated, but the people that generated and created and crafted and machined the equipment that stands there, because most of the aircraft there on display, many of those were manufactured right here in South Africa. We manufactured Impalas right here in South Africa. We assembled Mirages right here in South Africa. We manufactured the Cheetahs right here in South Africa, all the way up to the Cheetah E. We manufactured many of the helicopters right here in South Africa. Now, to be a superpower, you need a military that'll stop any other military from coming into your country or interfering with your sovereignty. Now, we do not have this military today, and yet we are complaining about many, many other things. Now, if you're not complaining about food and water, you have nothing to complain about. Food and water, I will understand that. Shelter as well, energy, and something to keep you sane. Those 5 things. If you complain about any of those 5 things, I will understand. But when you complain about other things outside of that, you're living in a cloud cuckoo land, and I really feel sorry for you. So let's get back to our military, because a military is supposed to be able to ensure that we have those 5 things that sustain life, which is water, food, shelter, energy, and something to keep us sane. Now, at this stage, wow, there's 166 people watching now. Thank you so much. Please like the video so that the algorithms can be driven. We need to get this channel's algorithms to be driven so that we can get it to more people. The target focus is to get to a lot more people across the country. This is very, very important. And for us, if we don't focus on the 5 things we need for survival, then we are focusing on things that are irrelevant and things I don't even want to talk about, because it means absolutely nothing. As long as we're not focused on having those 5 things and protecting those 5 things within South Africa, we are wasting our time and you are wasting your energy. So in future, in this world with lots of information coming at you from everywhere, if those 5 things are not affected by the thing that you're concerned about, you're wasting your time. But there are many things happening that are affecting those things. So you do need to be concerned about those. There are things affecting water. There are things affecting our food supply. There are things that are affecting our shelter. There are certainly things affecting our energy. And the world is going crazy. Many people in this country are going crazy. So we need things to keep us sane. And what can keep us sane? This is so important. Love is one of those things. Family, love, happiness, doing good things, things that make you feel good. And many things that make us feel good has been taken away from us. This is deliberate and it's meant to break us down. And if we fall for that, we will not be able to win a fight against people that want to take our freedom away. But we can win this fight easily because we can be our own government and we need to absolutely become that. This is vital. Now, what does that mean? It means that you need to be able to sift through all the masses of information coming at you. And if they don't involve those 5 things, water, food, shelter, energy, or something to keep you sane, throw it aside. It's a waste of your time, a waste of your brain space. If you've got those 5 things sorted in your life, okay, then you can go beyond and you can research other things beyond that. But if you don't have those 5 things sorted in your life, then you are a subject to large corporations and to a government that most of you don't believe in. Otherwise, you won't be on this channel. We almost have 200 people watching now. Thank you so much. I really didn't expect it. Hi, Hardy. The Grippins, nothing is maintained, no skills left, excellence, no more. It is a system set up to take our independence away. Hardy, I would like to interview you someday on that. It is really sad. When you see when the Cheetah E's, they weren't even manufactured any further. They stopped the Cheetah D program. We bought the Grippins and we hardly have any pilots that can fly them at this stage. I am not sure if people understand what that means. With the Nel falling apart right now, how do you control all the systems that was created through the Nel in the Navy, in the Air Force, and everywhere else? How do you maintain and back this up? So what this does is it turns us into a country of citizens that are sitting ducks. And this is really a shocking state of affairs. Before I carry on, I really want to thank all the hundreds of people in Cape Town that came to the meetings, that came to the follow-up meetings and to the subsequent meetings to that. I really want to thank all the people that gave us accommodation, that helped us with meals. You know who you are. Some of you are on the stream right now. I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, from our whole family. It was incredible to spend the month in Cape Town, and now the work continues, and it has to hasten. We have to work faster, and to do that, we have to understand the international threat that we face so that we can cut out the clutter, so that we can focus on things that are important. If you think about our military right now as one focus point, and Eskom right now as one focus point, we sometimes experience up to 3 load shedding sessions in the area where we are currently. And we had a load shedding session earlier. And if you think about that, and how this is happening across the country, people not having water, people not having electricity, that's a source of energy. That's important to maintain civility in any country. Running water and electricity are ways and means to maintain civility in a country. If you lose those, you lose not only civility, a government cannot govern an uncivil country. It's impossible. No government can do this. So we have to maintain that civility. This is vital. So once again, getting back to the state of our military, we have a Navy, we have the infantry, and then we have the Air Force. Now, what is the state of those 3 tiers of our national defense? The defense of our water, we are surrounded by ocean. our entire country, we should have a strong navy. We have many countries bordering us. And even if those countries might be good intention towards us now, if anything should change or a foreign country should enter those countries, what will we do to defend our borders when we cannot even defend it from illegal foreign nationals entering the country? And I understand their plight and their pleas. Many of them can't live in the countries that they're in currently. But if we can't even maintain our borders, you have no sovereignty, which means that you're not a republic, which means that you cannot be a democracy. You cannot be a democracy if you don't have citizens that know that their national government is controlling the borders of their sovereign country. And this is obvious that we cannot maintain this. If you look at our Air Force and you look at the state of the current Air Force, looking at Swartkops as an Air Force museum, the idea is stunning. The fact that people can walk around and look at the history of the Air Force. But you can become a friend of the Air Force by paying 150 Rand a year to help maintain, clean the exhibits. This is not happening. It's not happening. Why? People care about other things more than the defense of the country. And I'm talking about the citizens of this country. Because being a friend of the Air Force or any military base, and this happens across the country, you should just be a normal citizen. You don't need to be a member of the military at all. And you can go and give assistance. And if you're a good citizen and you're interested in aircraft or in artillery or in the Navy, you can go and be a friend of the Navy or the Air Force or the infantry, and you can actually assist as a citizen. Now, how many people have ever made that effort? For how many people is this a focus? The safety and sovereignty of this country. And I'm not sure that the way we live our lives right now and the things that we focused on, that we are concerned with the fact that even although we complain, what about the Chinese and what about the Russians and what about this and what about that and what about the Cubans and what about the Brazilians? What are we prepared to do to be a sovereign citizen? And what are we prepared to do to ensure that we have a governance system that maintains and ensures that? And not only that, but ensures that we are a sovereign country that is recognized as a superpower in the world. And why should we be recognized as a superpower? Because most other superpowers in the world depended on us to get that status. That is why. And this is a clear message I want to bring to you now. I know there's so much noise out there, so much information. And I'm not going to call it misinformation. It can only be misinformation if you see it as misinformation. But in that clutter of information, I want you to consider this. Once again, if it doesn't involve the 5 things that keeps you alive, water, food, shelter, energy, or something to keep you sane, you're wasting your time. And once you've taken care of those 5 things, move on then to researching other things. Now, what does it mean to have taken care of the 5 things that keeps you alive? Well, to keep yourself alive in a country that's under attack, you need a strong military. You need to want and support that strong military. If you don't have that, I don't know how you're going to support yourself or how you're going to keep yourself safe. If you're not organized as people, as citizens, and if we are not citizens, we will be subjects to anyone, not just our government, but to foreign entities, any foreign entities. And if you are subject to foreign entities, which we currently are, our president is reading off scripts currently. He's reading off scripts. He's not writing any of his speeches. We are run by foreign entities. And we need to, as people in South Africa, become citizens so that this matters to us. So it's not the next car I'm going to buy or the next house I'm going to buy or all the other glitter and glam that doesn't keep you alive, because you will be surprised to see the excuses that people will use for spending times and hours on getting something that will not keep them alive when we and our very livelihoods and lives are under threat right now. Not just in South Africa, but in the rest of the world, especially our freedom. And only we can make a difference to that. And I will do more follow-up videos where I explain the way forward. After we've strategized, there's many things that's gone through my mind in the past week, in the past month. The world has experienced a lot during this time. And looking at the direction of the mainstream media in the world, it is clear that certain narratives are unfolding. And in my future meetings, I will discuss that. I will start the online meetings very soon. We first had to finish our time in Cape Town. So the crazy touring is over. We've done a year of crazy touring. I mean, I'm not sure who else has ever done this in their lives, done the amount of meetings in the short space of time that we've done. It's been extensive, it's been comprehensive, it's been a learning curve. We learned a lot, we saw a lot, we spoke to thousands of people, and this has given us a sample of the perspectives that people have within the country. And the good news is that what we have found is 4 times better than what we could have expected at the time. And because it's 4 times better, what we needed to kickstart what we need for success has way exceeded our expectations. So what we found in the country is much better than we could have ever expected. And the momentum needs to continue. This is very important. And I already see all the strategies working across the country, but the strategies need to become better, more focused, and then we will have success. And I want to thank everyone that's become part of the solution, for all the people that are going around, finding out many things and learning to become a citizen. And I really look forward to the future, and especially the next couple of years running up to 2025, which is a key date in the history of this country. I'm really looking forward to that. And just understand that myself and my family, we will do what it takes. And this is a decision we have made a long time ago. It's not something you can turn away from or run away from. It's something you commit to, and we need success. We don't just need success. We have to be successful to maintain freedom. If we don't maintain freedom, the alternative is dire. And once you go past the point of no return, there is no way back. And we need to ensure that we do not get there. And I really want to thank everyone that has had open discussions with me over the past year. I really want to thank everyone that has done what they have done for our family, because it's a big decision to just drop everything that you were doing before and actually going on a tour such as we did. So we will announce the future venues for events, and they will be larger events about a month ahead of time. So you will know when they are going to be taking place. These will be public events, and we will probably have the first events here in Gauteng in August, and then move around to other areas. From there, the larger events. There will still be some smaller events taking place, but the main focus will be larger events where we have 200 to 250 people at an event. If we permitted to have more, that'll be great. The last event we had in Gauteng before we moved on to Cape Town had about 200 people attend. And we want that and more at the future event, so we will give enough notice ahead of time. Then the online meetings, they will continue. And I will find a specific date every week that I will do those. And people will be able to come in from around the world or from across South Africa and attend those. And I will explain the various formats that you can organize, and then I will attend the meeting. So most people have contacted me now and said they want to attend the meeting. But as I said before, you arrange the meeting and you invite people to come in, and I attend and I speak. So this is how we will do that in future, and it can be various formats. So I will let the people know when someone arranges a meeting like that. that they can come in on that meeting. Up until now, we've only had people that want to be in the meeting. No one that has said, well, I'll arrange an online meeting and then we can have X amount of people come into that meeting. So I'll take some of your questions now before I end this. This has almost been 30 minutes. I don't want it to continue for too long, but I've made a target now to put it out at least a video a day till month end. And in most cases, there might be a video in the morning as well as in the evening. So you can look forward to more than 40 videos coming out in this month. And then I will set up a very specific format after that, because there's so much information to be put out there. And I really want to thank everyone that has supported us in this. There's so many comments now. Hi, Ilka, Lizelle, Elmarie, Sandy, Tersha, Justin. Hi, Justin. The Brew. Which platform? You can choose whichever platform you want to use. And then you just contact me, you invite the people, and then I will address you as if it is in a normal meeting. And you can advertise it on your own Facebook page. If you want me to advertise it, I will. I'll do a video. I'll announce that there will be a meeting at a certain time. If you want it to be open, I'll put the link there, and then we can do it. I actually don't care what format it's in. Hi, Chesney. Guys, I want to thank all of you for what you are doing. Yeah, Kimusabi, we sold all of our Cheetah Sea fighters to the Ecuadorian Air Force. Hi, Shirley. Well, you'll be getting lots more videos. Remember, if you're moving around, it was really hectic. We sometimes had 3 meetings in Cape Town. We visited McGregor. We were in Paarl. We were in Somerset West. We were in Brackenfell. We were in Durbanville twice. We were in Cape Town. We were in Monkey Valley. We were in Pinelands. We were in many places in and around Cape Town. So it took a lot of time and effort. And remember, there's 3 types of meetings that we actually have. So it was a lot to cover in a very short space of time. It really escalated the last week. We had 8 meetings in that week. So it was really, really trying. But I'm glad that it's done. So it's a year. We've done a year of those meetings. And that hectic part of touring is over. My kids need to settle down and actually get into a routine. And we will be traveling out to have meetings in the other provinces. And we will announce those ahead of time. We'll try and get those to be larger meetings so that people can travel out to those. And in Gauteng, we've had people travel 2-3 hours, even some people 4 to 6 hours to get to meetings. And we will do it in such a way that you can even come out and camp. We have to organize toilet facilities for some of these events because of the size of the group of people that will come out. But we'll make sure that the venue is suited for that type of thing. And we will tell you beforehand what you need to bring with you. For those of you that want to camp out and have a braai, and we will definitely involve some artists. We want people to get together and have fun. And just show that we're not dead, that we're still alive, and that we can enjoy ourselves. Hi, Ero, Herschel, Juliet. So, Juliet, just organize that virtual meeting. We could have retained all those engineers that left the country. How can a country like ours doesn't have aircraft carriers? Russia has been modernizing the military infrastructure and personnel. You know, Ero, all we need to focus on is what we can do now. And the first thing we need to do is change the citizens of the country. If we don't change the citizens, we're not going to have a strong military. It's never going to happen. So the first thing that needs to happen is we need to change the citizens, the way they think, and then we'll come right. The Brew, you have no idea. Have you been to a meeting? Then you will understand what action is happening. The Brew, come to a meeting and then we can speak. Many of the people that are part of the solution, they understand that we are taking action. There's thousands of people taking action across the country. So yes, this is why I have meetings. The people that don't want to come won't get the experience, but now you'll be able to do those meetings online. So you will be able to have a meeting online by just getting onto one of the platforms. Maybe you can organize one. Gerard, I think it's important that the youth in the future do some kind of basic training in school before they leave school. That's just my opinion. So it's 30 minutes now. I really want to thank all of you for coming on. Just remember, this is about perspective. We need perspective again. And for us to get perspective, once again, there's 5 things that we need for survival. We need to go back to survival. We have too much clutter in our lives. We're thinking and seeing too much nonsense. That doesn't help you to survive or be free. If it doesn't help you to survive and be free, you're wasting your time, because there's too much happening that will take your freedom away and that will threaten your life if you do not act. So I would really like to implore you and ask you to consider focusing on 5 things: water, food, shelter, energy, and something to keep you sane. I will do videos on Eskom. I'll do a video on Koeberg and what is happening there. Just remember, Unit 1 is in a refueling outage shutdown. They were also doing steam generator replacement. This is so they can extend the life for another 20 years. It's a very expensive and long operation, so it was never going to be quick. They would normally have an outage plan for something like that, but the slippage can always come in. It's very sad that Valapi and Thuli has been suspended. I know Valapi. He's a wonderful man, a very competent engineer. I have sat in meetings that he has chaired. He takes no nonsense. And, for Eskom to go and do what they have done, I think is disruptive. I think it's despicable. And I think it's a very specific narrative that is being driven by the writer at the stage. And it's also to drive wedges amongst people in the country. And it's not going to help us at this stage. What's being undertaken at Koeberg now has been done at very few power stations in the world. It's a very complex operation. They've been planning for this for years. And I know the person in charge of the project, and it is complex. Many things can happen that you did not expect. So, yes, that's just a very basic thing on Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. The Voortrekker Monument follow-up video, Barry. The reason why I haven't released that yet is one simple reason. I need to make sure of one thing. The architect of the Voortrekker Monument, I need to find out if he was actually a believer in the Bavarian Illuminati doctrine or not. And I have not been able to find that information. I'm not going to share something for sensation for no reason. I can speak about what is there, but what I cannot do, and the fact that he was both a Freemason as well as a member of the Broederbond. But just remember, if he believed in the Bavarian Illuminati doctrine, he could have infiltrated both those organizations, and then the meaning in what he did within the architecture and what he said would be vastly different. So I don't want to put something out unless I'm absolutely sure and I have evidence for something. Otherwise, all it's going to be is like a documentary with info. It might still leave you confused, and you might jump to your own conclusions. The fact that there are 32 beams around what he called an altar at the bottom, not the empty grave of Peter Retief, and the fact that the 33rd beam comes through the top on the 16th of December and shines down on that altar doesn't make the people that go there on the 16th of December sun worshippers, because that's not what they think they are. And you cannot impose that on someone. So, there's so many people with their own opinions on many things, but I gather information. I often don't make decisions on that information because I don't have enough information. And in this case, I would have really let down my subscribers by not getting the hard facts on the mindset of the architect. There's many things he proclaimed himself, but the one thing he did not do, as far as I could see up until now, is say anywhere that he actually adhered to the Bavarian Illuminati greater good doctrine. And I need to be sure about that before I put that video out. I'll also be putting out a video on Julius Malema. I didn't think the timing was good for many reasons. And often I will say that I'm going to do something, and then something happens that makes it wrong to put it out at that time. And then I'm not going to do it. This channel is not there for sensation. I want to make sure that we get things right. So, yes. Yeah, a lot to unlearn. That's true. Information overload. Totally get that. I deal with it every day in the work I do. Juliet, the one thing I do is to not get into a rut where you get stuck into things that don't matter. I think that's the most important thing. We need to focus on things that matter. Those 5 things I've mentioned for your survival is what should matter. It's the first thing they should teach you at school. It's not taught at school. We should all ask, why is it not taught at school? Hi, Hardy. Yes, a list of must-read books that people can start reading to start understanding the world. Of course, nothing that no book has it all. Yes, books don't, Hardy. But I believe there's many books. A lot of information I got as a youth is just information. I haven't made an opinion on it. I read vast volumes of books when I was young. By the age of 16, I'd read hundreds of books, hundreds, if not thousands. And I consumed many books. And I think it's good for people to take in information, but don't form an opinion. If you don't have the solid facts for anything yourself, don't form an opinion on it. This is what I'm asking people to do. But a lot of people, unfortunately, probably don't have the understanding that a lot of information that we get through books is someone's perspective, just like I'm giving my perspective now. And this is why people should read as many books as they can. But 2 books everyone should read is The Prince by Machiavelli, and another book is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And, I've told many people in my meetings that they should read those books. The Prince by Machiavelli and The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Those are very important books to read because you will understand how many politicians and strategists in the world actually do things. Many intelligence organizations, many politicians. You will hear Julius Malema, you will hear Tony Blair often saying in public that I've used Machiavellian principles, or someone else is using Machiavellian principles for something. Now, this doesn't make Machiavelli a bad person. He just wrote how you got control of people and how it was done based on his observations. He wasn't a leader himself. So read those 2 books. Elsa Boshoff. Hi, Des. What do you know about a specific group in South Africa? Elsa, I know a lot about many groups and I choose not to speak about them. The reason why I don't do that is because a lot of people believe that they all want to unite a whole lot of groups, and I'm not saying it's the case here. And I've seen must be hundreds now that say, we want to unite everyone in the country. You cannot unite people if they believe in different things. It's not possible. You can see this in the United States. So in the United States, you have people with such different views that it cannot come together. There's no president that can actually manage that. So when people are so diametrically opposed to something, the greater good ideology versus individual liberty, for instance, it's impossible to marry the 2. You just cannot do it. So, I don't speak about groups. We do what we are doing now, and it is working. And we need to continue doing that. That is all I can say. And that's all I will say. So I will not comment on another person or another group. Anyone is free to join whatever group they want, believe whatever they want. That is absolutely your choice. You will see in the end that the person or the group or the organization with the best plan, they will in the end be the best. It's that simple. And how will you know that? Most people will end up following that plan. That is what will happen. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. This is just how the universe works. And it's actually quite special. So in the end, either the other groups will start copying the best ideas, or they will do their own thing. And if the people don't like what they are doing and the fruits are bad, it'll just die off. That is what will happen. Unless you use brute force or you behave like terrorists or rebels. and you use military force to force something on someone. But in a society where people are citizens and where they believe in a form of democracy, which we don't have currently, but we are trying to establish, then the people will always follow the best plan, because a best plan will always work. It's that simple. It's not a difficult concept to actually understand. So either someone will follow their own mind and it will fail, as has happened with thousands of groups in the country, or they'll start copying and following the best plan. That is the only way that you get to the best solution, and then the best solution will become obvious. I hope that helps. Yes, our diversity is our strength. Okay, absolutely. Yes, Juliet Morris says Art of War. I read it once a year. Guys, read it. Absolutely do. Is it possible to please also make a video on the Broederbonders and how does it fit in with the Masons? What is the difference? Okay, Jacques, I actually want to speak about this. This is important. You cannot say anything about an organization if you don't look at history that everyone accepts. In other words, if people don't accept the history you're giving, everyone will just disregard what you are saying. So if you want to actually know what the Broederbond is about, the Broederbond by that name doesn't exist anymore. It's Afrikanerbond today. The Broederbond, you have to understand where they come from. You need to speak to someone who was in the Broederbond. And I have. If you don't, or you need to speak to a Mason if you want to understand what the Masons are about. You cannot go and listen to someone that claims that they were a Mason and go and speak out on YouTube or whatever, because I can tell you if they were, they will not do that. There's no chance that a Mason is going to go and make, or someone that was in the Masons will go and make YouTube videos about what's happening in the Masons and then talk a lot of twak. And there's many videos like that out there, unfortunately. Now, I've never been part of a secret society organization because I am against secret societies or secret organizations. I'm completely against them. I don't think they serve anything good if it's not open. If you want to say that something is sacred, that is different. But to be in secret and not shine light on what is happening within your organization, there's something wrong. And this is why we should not have any intelligence organizations in a future democracy. The people need to be the intelligence. If the people are not the intelligence, there's something wrong. The fact that you need NIA, the fact that you need SAS. If all the people in the country aren't your eyes and ears, and they're not concerned and focused on the safety of our borders, there is something wrong with that country. And then mass subversion is taking place, which is currently the case in our country and many other countries around the world. Spread the word, people. Come to the meetings and learn what is really going on. Invite friends and family. Thanks, Herschel. Signs and symbolism can lead you to understand things about the world. Societies tend to ignore most of these signs and symbolism, which have significant meanings. Just look at the American dollar bills. Ero, let me educate you a bit there. What you think is on the American dollar bill, depending on your understanding, okay? The signs and symbols are everywhere. But the understanding of what people declare it to be is a problem, because if you have not asked the guy that put that pyramid and the separated pyramid above the pyramid on that dollar bill what it means, you will not have a cooking clue what it means. I can guarantee you that. The same way, you need to ask me, why is my name Desmond with a M-U-N-D? Why not with an O-N-D? Because my father said it's Desmond in Afrikaans. I can explain that to you. But you can start all sorts of rumors about the fact that my name is spelled with a U and not an O, not understanding why if you don't ask me. So if you want to know about any signs or symbols, ask the person that came up with a sign or the symbol, or ask for someone that used that sign or symbol under the pretext that they are part of an organization that have explained that sign and symbol to them that they adhere to or that they believe in. Just understand that. So, one of the big problems in the world is the amount of fake information being put out there, which undermines the severity of the situation we find ourselves in. We find ourselves in a much more severe situation than everyone being worried that the Freemasons are Satanists, that they eat babies, drink their blood, and all sorts of nonsense. Because it's utter rubbish. It's rubbish. It's fake news. It's nonsense. And I'm not a Mason. I've never been one in my life. But I can tell you that they are not Satanists because I understand exactly what they are about. And I might not agree with how they do things or that it means anything, because to me it's irrelevant. At the end of the day, I believe that citizens of this country needs to do what it takes, and that secret societies is not going to solve any problem at all. It's not possible for a secret society to solve problems. But it doesn't help us to think that the Masons are running the world, because they are not. It's not true. It's nonsense. The world is run by a committee and by a council. This is not rocket science. It is straightforward. And the thing is, you can look at history and you can prove it. Hi, Chris. Yes, we're all doing well. Hope to see you when we're back in Port Elizabeth. We'll still be traveling out to the other provinces, but we'll be having larger meetings there. And it's so important that we across the country understand that we need to be citizens, become citizens, and first understand what that's about. It's been a big focus of my meetings, understanding what it means to be a citizen and focusing on the 5 things that keeps you alive: water, food, shelter, energy, and something to keep you sane. Because people have lost their sanity. People have become so focused on so many things that doesn't keep them alive, that doesn't keep us sovereign as a country, that doesn't strengthen our military, that doesn't help the current government in this really debased governance system we find ourselves in. So, how are you helping yourself or anyone else? I really don't understand. Jacques, it's not difficult to find one to speak to. If you want to speak to a Broederbonder or someone that belongs to the Afrikanerbond, just go and do some research online. See who's involved in the Afrikanerbond. But remember, any of those organizations can be infiltrated, and to find the nearest Masonic lodge shouldn't be difficult. They don't hide where the lodges are, they'll tell you where it is. I've worked with Freemasons. Some of them I wanted to clap, and some of them were absolutely awesome. So, yes, it depends on the person. So, yes, there's so many things out there in the world that people question. And it's good that you question things. Research, take in information. Don't make up your mind. Just take in information. In 17 years that I spent researching, from the age of 19 to the age of 36, extensive research I did during that time, a lot of it when the internet was available. I did not make up my mind about anything, about nothing. And at the age of 36, I discovered things that put the puzzle together, and subsequently to that, many more things that helped me get to level 5. And I will briefly mention the 5 levels of understanding. The first level of understanding, and I will still do extensive meetings just on this topic. The first level of understanding is when you are born and everything that you see around you. Everything you see around you and whatever influences you, you believe, because you have no choice. You are young, you are subject to your parents, the people around you, whoever takes care of you. Level 2 is when you, for the first time, realize that your parents or your whoever's looking after you, that they're not perfect. and you start doubting what they say. You start making up your own mind. You start forming your own ideas. You might even believe different things to that which your parents taught you. That is level 2. When you get to level 3, and this is something that this so-called pandemic has caused across the world, level 3 is when you jump into the rabbit hole. And this rabbit hole is this endless pit where you just fall. You are free falling, and you are free falling really fast. You gain maximum speed with only the air resistance stopping you from accelerating more. And you don't know when you're going to hit the ground. And you keep on falling and falling and falling in darkness. There's no light. It's a place to be. Most people find themselves there now. And that is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, is to help get you out of level 3. While you're falling, you are grabbing to try and grab onto anything that can get you out of that fall. And in one moment, you can grab onto one thing solid and swing into a side tunnel that's not vertical, where you're not falling anymore. And you enter this narrow tunnel. And at the end of that tunnel, there's light. It's the first time you could see light. And as you start crawling towards that light, the tunnel gets narrower and narrower. This is level 4. There's very few people I've met in the country that is at level 4. And I really want the whole country or the whole world to get there so that they are progressing towards light. The moment you get to the light at the tightest end of this tunnel, you step up out into open space where you can look at the universe, you can look at this world, and you will understand. You will have understanding that is sufficient for you to continue with your life. And believe me, it's best to stay at level 2 and die at level 2 like most people in this world than to enter level 3 and never exit level 3 for the rest of your life and being in free fall. So being at level 4 is way better because you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I want each and every one of you to experience that. As I was crawling towards that light over a period of many years, the moment I got the information I needed in various places, in miraculous ways, I could get to what I call level 5, where I could see a perspective that I can't describe for most people. I can maybe count on my 1, maybe 2 hands, people that I've met in the country, in South Africa, that is at level 5. And I've had special conversations with some of them. And it's incredible that they could get to that point by themselves because it takes a lot of coincidence, a lot of luck. In my case, certainly, I can't claim responsibility for that myself. There were so many people along the path that made that possible for me. Otherwise, it would have been absolutely impossible. So I'm just grateful that I have that perspective. And it's made it easy for me to look at things and know immediately that is twak. No, this looks like it could be credible. And then I know how to do the research and actually find out where that information is coming from, why it's being put out, and what the narrative might be behind it. And that is important. So people, you need to get out of that rabbit hole, that vertical fall. It's a terrible place to be. Once you get into level 4 and you in that side tunnel, you're not falling anymore and you can see the light. This is important. Once you get there, you will feel hope, and hope is important, and it'll be possible for you to love again. So many people during this time have forgotten to love their husbands, their wives, their kids, their animals, their gardens, their homes, their community, their country. We need to learn to love again. And while you're in this free fall with that adrenaline rush continuously, you actually become quite useless as a person. And I felt useless for a very long time. Fortunately, I was working in a job that made me feel like I meant something. But I still had all these burning questions. And it took me a long time to get through the many books. As Hardy asked earlier, the books I would recommend. Maybe I'll do a video on that. at some stage and share some of those with you. But the one book that I need to finish up is the book that my father wrote, the book called Armageddon. I'm on page 47 and I've been procrastinating, so I need to get through that book, and we need to actually typeset that into English, and then we will decide how to get that to the public. I think it's quite important. Hi, Edrich, Penny. Actually, people, the Promethean, I've met with her in person. She's a very special person. Yes, I don't know how many people she wants actually on her channel. She's got a YouTube channel. It's really deep understanding, and I'm not sure how many people are ready for that. So I will want her to give guidance with regards to what she wants to do with regards to her channel. Kakarot, thanks. Indali, Steinberg, Jacques. I agree, Jacques. I understand people need information. Knowledge does come with questions. Jacques, you're absolutely right. There's no stupid question, really. I understand people's angst. There is a lot of angst. It's a pity I cannot get to everyone in the country. My family, the people that have been with us to see how we travel, go to meetings, how you just pack up and go and pack up and go. It's been difficult. It's been hard. So we need to do the online meetings. There's not going to be Mainik touring anymore. It's been a year. That part of the tour is finished now, and we will now have larger meetings where we have people come together. But with these online streams in future, people will be able to ask questions in real time. Yeah, I can only read questions. I miss some of them. Hi, Xavier. Then people will be able to interact with me. I think it's vital that we start that as fast as possible. Thank you for the 196 likes. Please like it more. Let's get over 200 likes. Drive the algorithm so more people can watch the stream. I want to set up a specific date in the week where I do a live stream with all of you, and they'll be about an hour long. So I want to finish up now. And then from tomorrow, in the news videos, you will also get your first, I've created a new thumbnail for a new series of videos that I'll be making, which is the Freedom Initiative. The initiative for freedom and what that actually means, and all the information that I'll be able to give you to help your mind, the way you think, to become more free. It'll actually tie in a lot with what a lot of you have asked. So the Freedom Initiative is to set your mind free, set your heart free, help you to love again and just experience life and enjoy it. Because if life is not about enjoyment, we are dead. And I'll speak about many things, like what it means to be damned, and many other things that has bad connotations, and where I can actually show you how you can turn many things around in your life, and how you can learn as much as possible, discern as much as possible, and how you can become the best leader in your life that you can, and become your own government. That's the most important thing. Yeah, Hardy, you've already helped a lot. You and your family, it was really great spending time with you. Hardy and I had many long discussions, intricate discussions, and I really enjoyed that. There's not many people that have done the level of research and the willingness to make an effort to learn more. And Hardy is definitely one of those people, and I really appreciate that, Hardy. I really hope that can make a difference for you and your family, as well as the future of the country, because that's what we need right now. So virtual meetings, I know someone like Hardy will be able to do that, host a virtual meeting, and then we can get other people on. Anyone else that can host virtual meetings, email me at my email address. You'll find that in the about section of this channel. And thank you to everyone that is supporting the work that we are doing and that has funded this work throughout this time. It's been incredible that the country has made this happen, and the work will continue until it's done. We cannot stop with the work. But that does not just involve me and my family, it involves every person in the country that is willing and able. And that is what's important now. Yes, load shedding. There's many people worried about load shedding, and you should be. I will speak about Eskom. I'll do a live stream just on Eskom, and I'll explain to you the intricacies of the national grid and what is actually happening on a technical level, and I'll try and make it easy to understand. I really want to thank you all for coming onto this live stream. It's been an hour now, and I want to say good night now, but I was glad to be back with you. And it's so nice that most of the people I see in the live stream commenting, the many comments, that I've met with most of you. So no, listen, Jacques, just one last thing. The Illuminati hated the Masons. They didn't believe in the Masonic fraternity. They turned it on its head. Where the Masons believed in individual liberty, the Illuminati believed in the greater good ideology. In other words, only the most intelligent needs to control the weak ones or the sheeple amongst them. And this is the problem, and this is the ideology that's infiltrated many of the Masonic lodges, the Broederbonders, many other organizations around the world. And this is what I speak about in my meetings. And, Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati, he was a Mason. He left the Masons. Just understand, he left them because he didn't believe in the fact that they believed in freedom of choice. I've had many past Masons at my meetings that have left the Masons. They are not killed. Nothing happened to them. It's all fake news. It's nonsense. And I hate fake news. I mean, it doesn't help anyone. Hi, Marlene. Nice to see you. AJ, I'm not sure what you mean by that question about section. Where do I find it? I'm not sure what section you're speaking about. AJ, maybe if you can just tell me what section you are speaking about there. But then I'll say good night. You can send me a message, AJ, if you want to. Naomi, yes, thanks for coming to the meeting. The people that have made an effort to come to the meetings will understand what this is about, why it had to happen face to face, and why it can't happen in an open forum like this. Once again, you can go, if you're not on my Double O Desk Facebook page, go to the Facebook page. Remember, we have to use all of these platforms to spread information. WhatsApp and Facebook, as hectic as the people that own those companies are, those are the platforms where people organize the best. And they don't want you to use those platforms to organize. So stop spreading twak on there and organize on there. This is what I use it for. It works very well. And that's what we should do. Oh, the about section. About. So you will have videos. Will have the about section. If you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the about section at the top. If you select about, then you will get my email address there. And the reason why I have to do it that way is so that I don't get spammed and messed up in a really bad way, because it does a robot check. It checks that you're not a robot. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming onto this live stream. More than 200 people. I'm really surprised. Thanks for all the likes. Those of you that can like the video more will help for more people to see it. Hopefully, I've given you some perspective from my side. Don't believe it. Don't trust it. Test everything yourself. Question everything. Research as much as you can. But remember, if you want to find out anything about me, my number is on this channel. You can call me directly. And you can ask me anything you want and then do your own research further. Thank you very much. Till the next video.